Hello and welcome in to Rolling with My Special Friends. We got a guys coming to us today that's just an amazing person to be around. I've shared a lot of moments in time with him and just so inspirational that I had to bring him onto the show to be able to let everybody get to meet Grayson Phillips. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing just fine. Now, I just want to dive straight into this thing and get some people knowing, some of the most amazing things that you've done. One of them is how you went through high school and graduated high school with a college degree. Now, tell us about that.
Yeah, so I got out of public school when I was in the eighth grade and started doing homeschooling so I could dual enroll, be in high school while I went to Wallace State Community College. And I went to Wallace State for their welding program. And so basically, I graduated high school and had a college degree. I had uh, a couple more weeks of college by the time I graduated high school. So really, I graduated high school with a college degree in welding.
Wow. Now, that's pretty amazing to know that you were able to accomplish both of those things at one time. Now, tell us, to kind of get us into this thing a little bit. We got a welding degree. What are we going to do with it?
Well, started out, my dad and I have a nonprofit. It's called RWMSF Foundation,
Okay.
and we raise money to give away chairs. I call them tank chairs. They're action track chairs. They've got the big old tank treads, and I got into welding so I could make the frames for those chairs, so our nonprofit could get them at a cheaper price. We get them secondhand right now, but still they're fairly expensive. They start around 12 grand. So my goal is to open my own shop and start making those chairs so we can get those chairs out to more kids.
All right. So to get into that, we'll get into the foundation in just a little bit to give more people information on that. But to get into that, what you just said there at the end, you want to start your own company building chairs. Now, how does a guy go about doing that?
That's what I'm still trying to figure out.
Okay.
Uh, I've got a goal. I've just got to work on getting a patent, getting designs, and all that.
Now I know for the audience out there listening, Grayson is also challenged with spina bifida, and it's an amazing thing to me to know that a guy like yourself can weld. How do you? I guess the way I want to know and understand, how do you safely do that? Because welding, obviously, laying in your lap like that, that's kind of a dangerous thing.
It is. I've been burnt quite a few times, but that's just part of it. I wear leather clothing, fire retardant jacket, leather apron, and fire retardant jeans. But it still happens sometimes, and that's just part of it.
Well, and that's, I guess you have to take the good with the bad, but I've always, just blows me away to think of you sitting there welding chairs and how you were going to pull that off. And that's amazing that you've thought that far enough through to get that fire retardant clothing to be able to protect yourself. Cause in the end, that's the most important piece of equipment is your body, not that chair. So we got to have you around a lot longer than that chair. Now, going off of that theme a little bit, I heard and have read up on that you won is it a presidential, not a presidential award, but what was it called, an award in school?
The Prudential Spirit of
Prudential,
Community.
that's it.
Yeah. So that was a scholarship that I got because of my foundation through Prudential. And the award ceremony was in Washington, D.C. So they flew me out to D.C., took care of everything, and got to see the Smithsonian museums. And then we had the award ceremony. And there was two levels of scholarship, the silver and the gold level. you had to get the silver level to be able to go on the trip. And when the award ceremony came around, they picked 10 people. They had a representative from all 50 states, and I was the Alabama representative. And they picked 10 of those representatives to get the gold level. And I was fortunate enough to get the gold level of.
So you're saying top 10 out of all the people. So there was, I'm guessing, one from every state that was there?
Yes.
Okay. So you were top 10 in the nation is picked off of that. And what do you think one of those things that separated you, like what put you in that top 10?
I think it was just the amount of people we're able to reach through our foundation. We may help one kid, but we're able to reach 20, 30 other people through that one chair giveaway or equipment giveaway, because we don't just do chairs. Any adaptive equipment, hunting, fishing, hiking, anything.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was getting at by asking that question, because we may have people out there listening that are trying to win awards themselves or trying to, follow in your footsteps and do their thing. And I'm just trying to give them little tidbits of information to be able to, how do you get to that top level? How do you get in that top 10? So what would they need to be doing to kind of separate themselves to get these awards? So you're saying that the foundation kind of helped you push that way too as well. And obviously it's a little inside, mental drive as well for you to be excited about doing what you're doing, because you got to love to wake up every day and go welding, because, you're going to be a whole lot better at something when you love it every day.
You got to love it to do it. That's what I was told when I started.
Now, switching gears just a little bit, I was told that one of the big nicknames for Grayson is Bugman. So tell everybody that's out there listening, how in the world did you get to be called Bugman?
Yeah, so growing up, every summer I used to just go. I'm always been outdoorsy, and it started with bugs. Every summer I would go out and collect bugs and put them on these giant styrofoam boards and have a collection. And I used to know all the names, all the scientific names, all the diets, and everything about the specific bugs. I've got books that I would research if I didn't know what a specific one that I found was. I would refer to the books and start researching what that was and get all the information about it.
So now that sounds pretty cool, but what's the end game there? Like, what were you going to do with the bugs? Just collect them?
Just collect them and show them off.
Okay. Now, I also heard somebody told me that you're now into reptiles. You went from bugs to snakes. Is that right?
Yes, I am. I now go out and just flip over rocks and look for different species of reptiles. And I've got books on them as well. Just learning more about them.
Now, this is one that's going to kind of blow our audience away a little bit. I was also told that since you're into reptiles now, you actually took a snake and killed it and then cooked it. Is that correct?
I did. Last summer, my cat cornered about a 4-foot copperhead, and I'm a firm believer in kill what you eat, or eat what you kill. But so I know I had to kill the copperhead, keep everyone safe, and I decided that I've heard of people eating rattlesnake, so I'm going to eat the copperhead. So skinned it out. I kept the skin, and I fried it, and it tasted great. I wasn't sure about it because I've heard people eating rattlesnake, but I've never heard of somebody eating a copperhead.
Now, for everybody out there listening, give us an idea of what copperhead tastes like. Is it chicken?
Tastes like chicken.
Chicken. Nothing special about it, huh?
Yeah, it's tough chicken. It's kind of rubbery.
So would you recommend people to get out there and start cooking snakes?
I mean, if you kill it, you gotta eat it.
Uh-oh. Well, now give us a little bit, a minute or so here. Tell me about how you cooked the thing. Like, what was the process?
Really, I just breaded it in panko and fried it.
So now, how do you just skin the thing? Like how do you do it?
Yeah, so you just take the head off, and uh, I use a catfish skinner. Uh, Grab a hold of the skin, and just pull it off like a sock.
Wow.
It'll come off all in one.
So that is absolutely the last thing in the world I would have ever thought about is taking a snake and cooking it. That just blows me away that you think, a thought process like that. And like you said, be able to eat what you go out there and harvest. So did you learn these things? I know you also had a background in Boy Scouts. Did you kind of learn these things or take up some of these hobbies in the Boy Scouts? Did they teach you outdoor activities?
Yes, my love for the outdoors started in first grade. I got into Boy Scouts as a Tiger Cub, which is the first grade level, and followed it all the way to Eagle Scout. And through my experiences, my troop was very active. We used to go on campouts once a month and sometimes twice a month. So I always got that experience of being outside, uh, learning new things, rough camping, where I had to build my own shelter, all that.
Giving us a little bit more information about that. And obviously you just described some of the activities, being outdoors, making tents and fires and all this fun stuff. Give the viewers and listeners out there a little perspective into how did you do those things with the chair? I'm sure it had to be very hard.
It was, but some people will tell you I'm a little stubborn, and if somebody tells me I can't do something, I'm gonna figure out a way. It might
Wow.
be it might be differently than everyone else, but I find a way to do what I want. A lot of the hikes, I would just leave the chair behind and crawl.
Wow. Now that's a new one. I haven't heard a lot of people say that. Now in there, I know as you go up into the scouts there's obviously an ultimate goal of the Eagle Scout, the top, person out there. Were you able to achieve that?
I was. I got my Eagle Scout right when I turned 18. Um, and there's a lot of merit badges that go with that, a lot of service work. My Eagle project was I built 5 concrete wheelchair ramps and a pavilion swing set for a local church camp that I used to go to growing up. Just making the camp more accessible and having a place to. They have Bible studies now at that gazebo.
Wow. Now that's a great way to give back. And I like it that the scouts and other groups are out there doing these community involved activities because I've always believed that it's a great thing to be able to give back and do stuff for others and sound like that you do a lot of that. When you transition into life here, and let's take people a little forward to where Grayson is right now. I've heard that you've just bought a home and you're fixing to get out there and do your thing by yourself. So tell us, about your new house. What's got you excited?
Yeah, so I just bought a house in Morris, and I have 5.5 acres. And the thing that really sold the house for me, it has a big metal workshop. So I'll be able to not only do weld at work, but I'll have a chance to better my skills at home. So
Okay.
all I have to do is step out my front porch, go into my shop, and I can learn new things, do projects. Uh, I've had a lot of people asking me about fixing farm equipment for them, and the shop is big enough. I'll be able to do that.
Wow. Now, inside the house, is there anything, obviously living life in a chair, is there anything special in the house? Do you do anything different?
Actually, it's all one level. So, but actually, it was pretty much wheelchair accessible once I got there. My main concern is always the bathrooms because bathrooms are relatively small in most homes, but the bathroom in there was already set up and big for to be adaptive for a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm able to get in the doors. Bathroom doors are usually small, so I can't get in them. But I was able to roll right in that. Uh, I can actually turn around in the bathroom,
Wow.
reach everything. So it's very adaptive already.
Well, that sounds pretty neat for everybody out there listening as well, to be able to tell them that, obviously what you're dealing with every day in life, and wanting to be a welder and wanting to do your own thing, to have a home that you can get in there and do that stuff yourself is pretty dang, cool, as well as inspiring to show other people that, you can do it. You can own your own place and take care of yourself, and, just be pretty self-sufficient, I guess. Now, in all this process that we've talked about, of all these different things you've been doing and things you've come through in life, everybody has to have good partners in these things, and everybody has to have a good network, I call it. Tell us, for everybody out there listening, how has mom and dad been through this? Has mom and dad been a big help?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They've taught me that their saying growing up was, "You can do anything that you want. You just may have to do it a little differently." And that's how I've lived my life. So they've instilled hard work into me that I if I want something done, like welding, somebody told me I couldn't, so I said, "Watch me. I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna figure out a way." And uh, I'm always going doing something. Uh, if I'm just sitting on the couch, I'll go outside. I'll start working.
Right.
Uh, they've instilled in me to idle hands are the devil's workshop, is what they used to tell me. So if you're sitting there idle, you might get yourself in trouble.
Right.
So always stay busy.
Wow. So that's been really awesome to have a support group in there to help you out with those things, and it's always cool to know that you got somebody that's got your back. If you need a little help, dads and moms always going to be there to help you. Now, I know we're going to transition this thing into this foundation that you talked about a little earlier in the podcast. I know you and dad started this kind of foundation and got things going together. Let's dig into this a little bit more and give me some real details about the foundation so people can learn about it. How many chairs have we bought so far and give to people, these $12,000 to $15,000 chairs?
Yeah, so we just did our 13th on July 4th, and that we try to tie in Independence Day to their Independence Day, independence from one chair to the other. The track chairs basically give them their independence. They don't have to wait on somebody to take them hunting, take them fishing. They can just load it up in a trailer or a truck and go by themselves.
That's pretty inspiring in itself, that you guys are out there making things happen for people that may have a little bit of struggle of trying to make it happen for themselves. You're able to provide them, not only, I say, inspiration to show them that you can get out there and raise the money, but you've also given them independence to get out in the outdoors just like you do and enjoy, what they're doing. Tell me, foundation wise, what are we looking at? What's the future of the foundation? What are we going after? Do we have a goal of, 30 chairs, 50 chairs? I mean, what's the future look like?
Yeah, so goal is always go bigger, and we give away around. We try to give away 2 chairs a year, and my goal is 3, 4, 5, just however many we can. So we've done multiple fundraisers. We do a cooking show every year. My mom is a very good cook, and she does a cooking show every year, and it benefits Outdoor Ability Foundation. So we're looking at doing more fundraisers and getting involved in different communities, spreading the word.
Wow. Well, now that's a great way to get things out there. Now, as far as speaking of spreading the word, I want to get some contact information out there for everybody listening to be able to help you guys out. Tell me, if I say website, what is the website for Outdoor Ability Foundation?
OutdoorAbilityFoundation.com.
All right. So it's spelled just like it is?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Facebook?
Yep. Facebook is just Outdoor Ability Foundation.
Okay. Now, on those two resources there, Facebook and website, is there a way for them to leave you an email, a phone number to call you? How do we get in touch with you?
Yeah. So on our website, there'll be both of our emails, and there's a contact us button to send us an email.
Okay.
And just shoot us a message on Facebook.
So now if I'm a family out here listening and I've got a kid that may be interested in a chair, that's the way I get a hold of you, is email you and say, hey, we would like to be one of these people that get a chair?
Yeah. So for any applicants, go to our website, go to the contact us button, shoot us an email, tell us a little bit about the situation, about the kid.
Okay.
And we will look it over. And then if we decide this is someone that really needs a chair, and we'll, Dad likes to give a phone call to him and say, you are the next recipient. We're going to start doing fundraisers for you. And we'll go from there.
That's pretty neat to me to know that you're making a phone call to somebody that changes their life. I can only imagine getting that phone call to know that I'm about to get a $12,000 chair. I mean, that's got to be one of the coolest feelings in the world.
Yep, that smile is everything.
I just think that's pretty awesome. I applaud you guys for doing that and getting out there and making things happen. There's a lot of great stories out here in the world that people are not hearing, and you guys are one of them, that you're making things happen for kids and adults out there to, add some joy back to their life. Now, one of the things that I say joy back to life and making things happen is I've also heard about you getting out and cutting your own grass. Tell me how you rigged up a lawnmower to be able to do that.
Yeah, so I've got just a plain old riding lawnmower, and I have what I call my suicide sticks. They are portable hand controls that just clamp down onto the pedals of the car. So when I got that lawnmower, I'm like, I don't want to have to pay somebody every week to come cut my grass. I want to do it myself. And I came up with the idea of taking one of those poles and putting it on the gas pedal of the lawnmower. And it actually works pretty well. I'm able to mow my grass and go anywhere using that just simple little clamp attached to a pole. Push the gas pedal with my hands.
Well, that's a pretty neat deal there for you to be able to figure out, for people out there listening that have always thought about, trying to mow their grass and maybe not had the opportunity. That's a neat way to put things together. Now, one of the last things I want to cover is, I know you're also independent and driving and stuff out there. How do we get in and out of our truck?
So I have I'm going to have, I don't have a truck right now. I had a wreck last week. So, but I drive extended cab trucks, and that door swings out the back way. So I'm able to just hop in and throw my chair in the back seat.
Okay. Now, when you say throw it in the back seat, you take it apart and throw it back there, or you throw the whole chair back there?
No, I throw the whole chair back there.
Well, that's pretty convenient. There's a lot of trucks out there that you have to take them apart piece by piece. So that's what I was doing, trying to get everybody into your world and make sure they know, how you're doing things, so maybe they can adjust and do some things in their life to be able to kind of copy you and roll in your footsteps there. So we're going to wrap this thing up, and I really enjoyed being able to talk to you today. Tell me our signature question that we love to ask everybody that comes on the show. When your number's called and Grayson's days are over with and we are sitting down to read the book, The Life of Grayson, what do you hope people read?
Well, I hope they read that he did all he could to give back, because I've been given so much. It just in my 21 years, I've been given so much, and my thing is I want to give back as much as possible, and I hope that's one thing that's in that book, that he was had a giving heart and loved to serve other people.
Wow. Well, you can ask for so much more than having that, in your book, that people are going to be able to see your legacy and the things you've left behind. And, doing the welding thing, doing the Outdoor Ability Foundation, doing all the things you're kind of blazing your own trail, to me. And it's able to show other people that doors that are, they may have thought once that were closed, they're definitely open, because you're showing us how to do it. The welding thing to me is very inspirational, that you're out there doing that yourself from sitting down. And the Ability Foundation, Outdoor Ability Foundation, just blows me away, that how much time and effort you put in there to making people's lives change and become, independent of their own and be able to help them. So before we close this thing out, tell us one more time, so we get all the information we can out there. How do we get in touch with Outdoor Ability Foundation?
Shoot us an email on outdoorabilityfoundation.com. There's a contact button, and just message me on Facebook, Outdoor Ability Foundation, and I'll read it and get back to you as soon as possible.
All right. Well, we thank you very much for coming on and hanging out with us, and hopefully we can catch up with you in the near future as well, to be able to see what things have changed in life and what you're up to. Does that sound pretty good?
Yeah, definitely. It was great talking to you.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you later.